nobody has the longevity the way that Temptations does. Okay, we might got the new edition. The new edition is right here. Okay, I can see Ricky Bell, 72. Okay, still singing Poison. I can see that. You know, maybe Michael Bivins, Bobby Brown. He ain't gonna make it. Share to Facebook and subscribe because it is so important to our success here on the YouTube. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now let's talk about TVOne's unsung episode about Eddie Kendricks. So love bugs, let's talk about our sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Homeschool Entertainment. Check the description bar below for more information. Eddie James Kendricks was born December 17th, 1939. Ooh, a Sagittarian with a falsetto. Ooh. Woo! Get ready! This Sagittarian man hailed from Birmingham, Alabama. Okay? And of course, like all very, very good singers, the best singers are always the ones that sing for the Lord first. I don't give what you ninjas say. The best singers sing for the Lord. Okay? It's like he put a magical dove inside their voice. Okay? So he in the church. And right next to him is a young Paul Williams. So because we are reading the Mary Wilson book right now, we only know of Paul and Eddie being a part of the Primes. But before they got to Detroit, they were with a group called the Cavaliers. Now, his daughter, Ika Kendricks, has said that her father had woke up one day and was like, oh no, they want me to get a 9-to-5. That won't happen. I can't do that. You can't ask a Sagittarian man to get a 9-to-5. How are they going to be free? How are they going to do what they want to do? You can't be a risk taker when you clock in and out every day. That can't happen. You can't be a risk taker when you making copies and dumping the damn trash. Oh no, answer no. So what he did was steal his brother's income tax check and said, Paul, I just stole my brother's income tax check. Come on with me to Detroit, okay? You stealing your brother's income tax check? Now that would make me feel a little funny about Eddie the Kendricks, because if you steal from your brother, motherfucker, then you'll steal from me. Now, once they got to Detroit, they changed their names to the Primes, okay? And as we know from the Mary Wilson book and the TVOne unsung episode, Paul and Eddie came up with an idea to create an opening act with girls, okay? They would balance each other. So you got the Primes and you got the Primettes. Now, Mary Wilson is also participating in this TVOne episode, okay? She said that from the moment she heard Eddie Kendricks' falsetto, she fell in love. Yes, she did. Dinah Ross fell in love with the falsetto too. So it's now 1961 and the Primes have disbanded, okay? And we know this because we're reading the Mary Wilson book, right? The Mary Wilson book explained to us that the Primes and the Primettes had a manager named, was it Melvin or Milton? I forgot. But whatever the dude name was, he had a cast on his arm, okay? This ninja didn't go back to the doctor to get it checked out. The arm turned gangrene, okay? So now Melvin or Milton, whatever his manager name is, he done disappeared. The Primes need direction, okay? They bumping into each other over there. Now, It's 1961. They're disbanded now, right? And at the same time, we have Otis Williams, who has just lost his lead singer from the Drift. One day, Otis received a call from Eddie Kendricks. Timing is everything. Hello. Otis, what you doing? Man, I got this thing going on right now. This guy named Berry DeGordy contacted me and said that he's trying to get his new label off the ground. That would be Hitsville, that would be eventually Motown, right? And he has chosen me and my group, the Drifters, to help him get his company off the ground. Well, Eddie Kendricks said, well, what you think you could do for me? Because remember, they don't have nothing to do. They ain't a part of nobody's group. Otis Williams say, you say what? You need a job. You need something to do. You need something to do. Oh, nigga, come on over. Oh, we need that falsetto. Yes, despite already having a tenor in their group, okay? Now, Eddie says to Otis, okay, I'll come, but I need Paul to come with me, okay? Because one thing them Sagittarians are, they might be shiesty, but they loyal as fuck. Okay, now he might not be loyal to his brother, but he loyal to Paul. So now we have Otis, Paul, Eddie, Elle, and Melvin. They went to Motown together as the Temptations. Now know this, the Temptations based their sound around Eddie Kendricks. Okay, how you gonna base your sound around the Eddie Kendricks? Okay, but you already got a tenor. All right, Blink. Y'all see the foolishness, right? Y'all see this coming down the pipeline. Now, that first hit was written by Berry DeGordy. It was called A Dream Come True, okay? And that was led by Mr. Eddie Kendricks. The tenors were Eddie and the dude Elle, all right? The problem with having two tenors is that they're, clashing. It's like thunder. You know what I'm saying? You can't have two men singing fa la 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 la's. It don't work like that. Now, 4 flops later, Berry DeGordy is still headstrong about the Temptations. He believes in his groups, okay? That's one thing that I will always respect Berry DeGordy for. He might steal your money, but he won't fire you quick like the rest of these, record labels will do. Okay, I done had you for 2 albums, all right? You done wasted all my money. You ain't produced no hits. Now, nigga, you gotta go. Well, you could have been anything that you wanted to, and I can tell the way you do the things you do. It's 1964. And the way you do the things that you do has cracked the pop top 20 and shot to #1 on the R&B charts. Of course. 7 years after he left Birmingham, Alabama, the Temptations were moving at warp speed towards the greatest male group of all times. And they still are the greatest male group of all times. And I double dog dare you mother hunchies to say something different, okay? Nobody has the longevity the way that the Temptations does, okay? We might got the new edition. The new edition is right here, okay? I can see Ricky Bell, 72, okay, still singing Poison. I can see that, maybe Michael Bivins. Bobby Brown, he ain't gonna make it. Ralph Tresvant, I don't know if he will make it either. Eddie Kendricks' ex-wife, Patricia, and his daughter, Ika, had said that Eddie Kendricks was a very deep and sensitive man. Mm-hmm. All Sagittarians are. They the only sign that I know that will and then go in the closet and cry about it. They're the only people that'll do that. You'd be like, well, if you was going to cry about killing a man, why did you kill him, baby? Murray Wilson and Martha Reeves. Martha Reeves from Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. Remember when they used to be on tour with them ninjas, okay? He said, okay, that, or she said, they said, okay, that in the hotel rooms, the ladies used to be waiting in the hallways with negligees on. I'm saying to myself, well, that ain't shit. That ain't nothing. I mean, because, go down there to All-Star Weekend and you're going to find them bitches in the hallways butt naked. David Ruffin has now replaced Elle Ryan, and the group has gotten even hotter. David was the rough and Eddie was the smooth. A perfect combination. David Ruffin, oh my God, you crackhead you. I loved him. I loved him. 1965, Ruffin sang lead on The Temptations' My Girl. Oh my God, which was the second R&B hit. A few months later, the third #1 hit, Get Ready, with Eddie Kendricks. Fee-fi, fo-fum, look out sugar, cause here I come. Yes! Now, 1966, the Temptations are now playing the Copacabana. Okay, this is your Black history, you're welcome, okay? The Copacabana was this really hot club either in New York or New Jersey. Y'all put it below, y'all let it correct me, okay? And that club was exclusive to white performers, okay? The Temptations were breaking barriers in all kinds of ways because the Copacabana would host people like from the Brat Pack, meaning Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, you know, even though Sammy Davis Jr. was black, you know, he was with a whole bunch of white people. So, I mean, okay, they worked with him. All right. But for the Temptations to come through, that was something different. His wife, Patricia, said that there were times where he would get inside of his head. He would get tired of working. There were times where he would fake like he was sick because he was so tired of going on the road with the Temptations. But eventually, he would cave and go out on the road, okay? Yeah, them Sagittarian men, yeah, they, you know, bop your ass, but at the same time, they be sensitive as hell. Now it's 1966, okay? And David Ruffin has decided that the group should be called David Ruffin and the Temptations. You say, what? How is that? Remember? Ain't nobody here to see you, Otis. They here to see me. I mean, you and Eddie Kendricks, you better get yourself together, David Ruffin, but that's the booger sugar talking to him. Temptations went down there to the Barry DeGordy and said, you better get this nigga, okay? Because we're not going to put up with him and his shenanigans, okay? So, you know, David Ruffin, in his head, I'm better and greater than all of y'all, so let me leave and let's see how it work out without me. It's going to work out just fine. It's going to work out just fine, David Ruffin. I mean, what you think? You the only raspy mother hunchy out there? Answer no. At any rate, the Temptation was like, you need to get rid of that nigga. Because he think he bigger than the group. Okay? Nobody is bigger than the group. Now, before they went to bury the Gordy, of course, the Temptations had a meeting with Dr. David Ruffin because he was somewhere eating a powdered donut. Okay? They having a meeting, right? We got to get rid of that nigga. Okay? He too much trouble. He more trouble than what he worth. We know Eddie Kendricks is loyal to everybody but his brother. Okay? Eddie Kendricks felt like, why would we get rid of the man who's responsible for putting us on the map? Yeah, I can sing some panties off, but David Ruffin put us where we needed to be on the charts so that we could, you know, be a force to be reckoned with. Nonetheless, by 1968, David Ruffin was no longer a part of the Temptations. He was replaced by Dennis Edwards. Ooh. Dennis Edwards, he was another one. Something about that raspy voice too. Ooh, when you can sound like you got a frog in your throat and it sound good. Oh, you ninja you. Now, Dennis Edwards also participated in this episode of TVOne, Unsung. Okay, he said that his concerns was not having enough money and not being able to have input on what they feel their own music should sound like. He said that it was discouraging, okay? Because I guess Barry Gordy was very controlling with what was next. Dennis Edwards also said that because it was no true leader, it was a lot of problems in the group. Now, I'm shocked with this because I swear I thought that the two, Otis and Melvin, were the leaders. Like, I thought that Melvin was the main one. What was his name? Melvin? And then Otis was right underneath him. Those two were the people who was making the main decisions. So I didn't know that. You know, maybe they were making decisions, but they wasn't, the rest of the group wasn't paying no attention to them. I swear.
Time for homeschool entertainment, where fun equals learning and you are great. Homeschool entertainment, whoop, whoop. Homeschool entertainment, whoop, whoop. Teddy Bear Love. He, she. Bye.
What I did not know. Okay, thank you, TVOne, right? Paul Williams started having some health concerns, right? He was dealing with sickle cell and depression, right? He started self-medicating with alcohol, okay? We got another situation here. You know, the Temptations don't have no problem with throwing your ass to the wolves. They don't believe like the government do, okay? You know, the head of the executive branch is smoking crack. We're not going to fire them. We're going to just send them to EAP and drug rehab. They don't believe in that, okay? They don't do that, right? What they do is replace. So Dennis Edwards said that those days that Paul was, you know, incapable of performing, we know this from the Temptations movie, there would be a guy waiting in the wings, okay? For just in case Paul was with the shit and he was too drunk to sing, okay? His name was Richard Street. Hold on. Because one of y'all told me that Richard Street had hunched one of the members of the Supremes 2 / Primates 2. Okay, I'm like, oh Lord, what is going on here? Everybody is hunching everybody. And that's what they said in the Rick James book, that everybody was hunching everybody at Motown. And I believe it now. You think Motown of this pristine, prestigious, you know, black record label, and then when you find out that, you know, everybody is hunching everybody just passing around the same herpes simplex, that's a concern to me, brother. Moving on, Eddie Kendricks thought that it was disrespectful, okay? You got my man Paul right here. He been with me since the beginning, since we were singing This Little Light of Mine together back in Birmingham, Alabama at the church, okay? Now you got this dude over here, Richard Street, singing in the wings, disrespecting my man. Eddie Kendricks, I get it, but, you know, if that movie with the Temptations was real, that man could barely stand up sometimes. Now, when Cloud 9 entered the charts and burned its way all the way to the top, Eddie Kendricks was like, whoa, I might have been wrong. Oh, this damn Dennis Edwards, he might take us to the top. Matter of fact, he might surpass what David Ruffin had done for the Temptations. Dennis Edwards said that he was so proud to be a part of the Temptations because each member was an amazing singer, including Paul Williams, who he felt was underrated. I don't know about that. I think we all know that Paul Williams could sing. If y'all don't know, y'all need to check him out, because that motherfucker could sing. Cloud 9 took them from doo-wop to edgy. The Temptations are talking about getting high now. Now they talking about the Psychedelic Shack. That's one of my favorite songs by them, okay? The producer, Norman somebody, understood the sign of the times, and he was trying to get Barry DeGordy. Wake up, nigga. We not talking about doo-wops no more and candy and rainbows and stuff. They want to get high. We know this because Sly Stone is talking about getting high all the time, and he stay at the top. Eddie Kendricks served us Runaway Child, Running Wild. And then I can turn a gray sky blue. I can make it rain whenever you want it to. Oh, I can build a castle with a single grain of sand. I can make a ship sail on dry land. Oh, according to Otis, who participated in this episode, he said that Eddie Kendricks would say to the group, look, if they don't start treating us better, let's strike. Otis was like, are you crazy? Do you see all this talent around here? We need to play this game, all right? And I'm not about to talk shiz to the Barry DeGordy when they got songs waiting for us, okay? Because if we don't sing the songs, they'll definitely give it to somebody else. And they will have a hit. You go, you do it, because we don't have no problem with replacing you, bro. Now, this is another thing about Eddie Kendricks, okay? Eddie Kendricks was hunching on Diana Ross, okay? I'm saying to myself, did Diana Ross know that Mary Wilson liked Eddie Kendricks? That's foul. I mean, if you know your duty likes somebody, why would you hunch him? You know what I'm saying? But then Eddie Kendricks felt that Barry DeGordy did not like him because of a situation that happened between him and Diana. Now, this is when the ex-wife chimes in, Miss Patricia. She said, yeah, one time when we were married, Eddie was, fooling around with Diana. Now, she came to our house, started banging on our door, and broke a window. Now, it wasn't the house that I was at, you know, because if I would have opened the door, I would have whooped that ass. But it was at one of our income properties, okay? And that was a concern, okay? My problem is, Eddie, you married. Birdie Gordy, you married. Why you worried about Diana? Shouldn't y'all be worried about y'all wives? But Eddie felt like Birdie Gordy was mean to him, or, you know, was shady with him because they both was hunting the same girl. You know them Sagittarians be in their feelings, child. In 1970, during a run at the Copacabana, things came to a head. In between shows, while in his dressing room, Otis recalls that Eddie Kendricks was banging on his door. Okay? Now, Otis said, now, if I let this nigga in, we gonna start fighting. Okay? And I don't have time to be fighting. It's vagina around here. You know, even though Otis old good Christian man now. Okay? You know. But he said, I'm not about to open the door. He didn't. But that was the last time that Eddie Kendricks sang with the Temptations, you know, until the reunion. Now, by 1971, Eddie Kendricks had provided 8 #1 hits with him singing the lead, okay? Including Just My Imagination Once Again, hey, Running Away With Me, oh, just my imagination running away with me. Even though he was gone from the group, I mean, the song still went #1. This is all funny. Right. Eddie Kendricks left the group, but you're still working with the Motown. How? Why? I thought you had a problem with Motown. If you had a problem with Motown, Eddie Kendricks, why wouldn't you run over there to, who's that, Arista or Atlantic or whoever? If you had a problem with the Motown, why continue to sing for him? If you don't like Birdie Gordy, why continue to make money for him? That was just, I don't know. Sagittarians do crazy shit sometimes. 2 years into his solo career, Eddie had a hit record with Keep On Truckin', baby. All right? Eddie enjoyed moderate success with 4 more albums. After 9 solo albums, Eddie was released from Motown. Now, see, Birdie Gordy wasn't that mad at you. He could have cut your ass after the 3rd week whack album or moderately successful album, but he didn't. It's 1981 or 82, and someone has came up with the idea of the Temptations reunion. Yes to the Jesus, yes. Okay? Dennis Edwards said that he was the happiest man in the world when he heard about it. Otis said that he explained to Melvin that he wasn't sure about this reunion, but he didn't. Melvin, that's his name. I'm saying Marvin, Milton. It's Melvin. That's the name of the guy who I felt was the leader of the group. But anyway, Otis was like, I don't know. As a result, Motown produced a Temptations reunion album to include the current 5 members, Kendricks and Ruffin. Rick James was brought in to produce the album. Standing on the top, hey. When you're on the top, getting down, yes, standing on the top. Now on the Unsung episode, the narrator said that Rick James was Melvin Franklin's nephew. When? When did that happen? Y'all, when we did the Rick James book, was that true? Was that true? Did we read that? Because I don't recall reading that. Dennis Edwards said that it felt so good, it felt like we were all the Temptations once again. The problem was that Eddie Kendricks, because he's dealing with financial woes, he wanted to be back in the group, okay? Otis and Melvin answered no. That's not going to happen for us. That's not going to happen. You know, you were too much trouble. Why would we bring you back in when we have a falsetto here now? We have a tenor here now. Answer no. That's not how it's going to work. So Eddie was very disappointed. Now, before the reunion tour began, Rick James took Eddie Kendricks and David Ruffin into the studio. And that's when they discovered that Eddie Kendricks was having problems with his box. Dennis said that shows started so well, but then people started missing the shows and getting high, including himself. Okay? Now, the only reason why I knew that Dennis Edwards was getting high, I knew this. Let me tell you why. Because when I did research previously, I've been studying music and art for so long, okay, that I just know things already. right? So when they had the original lead singers of the Temptations tour going on, I said, wait a minute, we know Eddie Kendricks do Boogity Shoogity. We know David Ruffin do Boogity Shoogity. Why is Dennis Edwards there? He must do Boogity Shoogity too. Because who else would hang around a whole bunch of, addicts comfortably, except for someone who is also using? They didn't say it, but come on, Joe. When Dennis Edwards said it in this, I said, oh, okay, he said it. It was confirmed what I was already thinking, because pipeheads don't just, or non-pipeheads don't just wake up and be like, oh, I want to hang out with a pipehead all day. No, that's not how it works. Non-pipeheads be like, I want to hang out with other non-pipehead people, okay? Because they don't want to sit there and watch you smoke crack. They don't want to do that. They got better shit to do, like go to work. Now, disappointed that the Temptations didn't let him back in, he went on in 1983 to release an album on a label called Miss Dixie. That was the final album, okay? Now, back at home, Eddie Kendricks' marriage to Miss Patricia was in trouble. Miss Pat said that he could have worked things out, or they could have worked things out, but Eddie was feeling defeated. He has a family, okay? He has a boy with Miss Pat, right? He feeling defeated. So what he did was, Miss Pat, look, because a man's ego and pride is something vicious, right? Pat, look, when I met you, I was this man, all right? Now I'm here. I can't look you in your face. Miss Pat was like, baby, that don't matter to me. We could work it out together. Trust me, I need to go somewhere else, okay? And when you're dealing with a person with addiction, they don't want to sit in your face. They want to be with somebody else who's going to smoke crack with them. Miss Pat, if you ain't smoking crack, he ain't going to be with you, right? So he done moved on to Ika's mom. 2 years after Eddie Kendricks' divorce from Miss Pat, he had a daughter, Ika, okay? Now, this is with another woman, right? And the other woman, the Sagittarian used to get on her nerves, okay? Now, let me tell you something else if you don't know this about a Sagittarian man. They play a lot of games. Watch them niggas. Like, for instance, these are the type of games that these ninjas play. Watch them niggas, okay? Ika's mother wanted Eddie Kendricks to come to the hospital and sign the birth certificate. Eddie wouldn't do it. That was a concern to her. You dirty motherfucker, you. You ain't gonna sign my baby's birth certificate and you know this is your baby? Ika is his baby because that woman looked just like him. She's a beautiful girl, just like Eddie Kendricks was. So because Eddie Kendricks was playing games, Ika's mama said, I tell you what, you wanna play with me? Then I'm gonna play with you. Mr. Judge, man, make Eddie Kendricks pay me child support. Then there was a third child named Paul, okay? That was sweet that he named his baby Paul after his friend, and this is in 1985. The same year, Hall & Oates performed, and he and David Ruffin was included in their album. If you don't know who Hall & Oates are, they are a white group, Daryl Hall and John Oates. I know y'all like, oh my God, Nay, how do you know so much about music? It's inexplicable, y'all. Now, in 1989, the tour for the original lead singers of the Temptations took flight. Dennis Edwards said it was one of the greatest shows you would ever want to see. I'm sure that it was amazing, okay? But, like I said, you got David Ruffin doing the boogity shoogity. You got, what's his name, Eddie, eating potted donuts, and then you got the dentist. I don't know what he was doing, but I want to assume that it was the potted donuts too, okay? He said it would have been a great thing, but, when you're dealing with addiction, people start missing dates. The show continues on to discuss Eddie Kendricks' smoking habit. Everybody said they never knew that he had a smoking habit, okay? Then, because he was having trouble, he went to the doctor, and they found a spot on his lung. It was cancer. Because the lead singer's tour was doing so well, Eddie Kendricks could not quit. They moved forward and he grew sicker. In June of 1991, following a European tour, David Ruffin was found dead from an overdose. Okay, now remember how I told you Ika's mama was like, oh, I got a trick for you, brother. Okay, he owed Ika's mama tons of child support, okay? Ika said her mammy didn't have no address for her pappy, okay? So Ika's mammy sent the police round there to David Ruffin's funeral, okay, and pick that nigga up. Okay, it was bad because Eddie Kendricks was one of the pallbearers. Okay, I'm sure they can still carry that thing down the aisle without Eddie Kendricks there, but it was just the principalities. Okay, then in June 1992, he returned again to the Apollo Theater. He refused to lip sync. He sang and maneuvered like he didn't have a problem in the world, and there was an oxygen tank right there in the wings to help him breathe. Okay, because you know cancer is all consuming. Eddie Kendricks' mother had come to get her son to take him back to Birmingham, Alabama. On October 5th, 1992, Eddie Kendricks died. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, and subscribe. The same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves. You babies, y'all better have a good one. Peace.